Welcome to Positive Waves. My name is Matthew Collinson, and here's my great friend.
I'm Joseph Somma.
And today we have Mary-Frances back on the show. We always love having Mary-Frances on, so thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me and inviting me today.
So I'm excited for you because I know you have a book coming out soon, right? And that's coming out for release pretty quickly here called Emotionally Scammed. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's basically when you don't know the difference between two emotions without delving into it, you make your best life decisions based on the knowledge you have at the time. And, I can't go back and say that I made a lifetime of bad decisions because, I didn't know any better. So how can I say that it was good or bad? It was the decision I made at the time to get me through life as it was.
Yeah, I totally understand that, I think, because we all go through cycles in life. We're all in a cycle of some kind, way, shape, or form. It's
Right.
there. So you've just taken it to where you're actually sharing the different perspectives from, is it the different emotions that you're feeling at the time and then just acting the best way you can?
So just to give you an example, let's say anger and hate. We're so quick to say, I hate you, or I hate that. I hate green beans. Green beans can't do anything to you to really make you hate them. You can hate the side effects if they bother your stomach, but you really can't hate the green bean itself. So through 20 years of marriage, and that's all I can call it, is a ceremony with a ring and a piece of paper, I realized that I was being emotionally abused and verbally abused. And in doing that, I don't have scars on the outside where somebody can say, hey, what happened? Why do you have a black eye? Or why is there a big bruise on your arm? Why is your wrist broken? However, inside, it hurts just as badly, but it's so easy to hide. You put up that paper plate smile like the TV commercial, and, you can go through life. And through all of the emotional abuse, I put up barriers in ways. And that is really what prompted the book to be published or to be written at this time. Is I didn't know what love was. You always hear your moms tell you, you don't know what love is, or your dad says it. Well, you really don't. When you're a youngin', you don't know what love is. It's just a bunch of blood pulsing through your veins that encourages you to have sex. It's lust. And a lot of relationships, there is a difference between that love and lust, where lust is part of the love. Mine totally was based on simple lust. It was the attention that I was getting and not the affection I was getting. So here we are, even more emotions that are scammed or confused. How do you know the difference between affection and attention? And the book, Outwitting the Devil, really helped me understand that, with the fact that the devil uses flirtation or flattery to get the affection of someone, or even just the attention of someone, in order to persuade them to do what they want them to do. So a lot of women and men, this happens to repeatedly, and it's because you don't know any better. And then what you put out into the universe is what you attract. So for many, many years, I attracted what I didn't want. And again, it was comfort. So I went along with it. and just kept attracting and attracting. And one day I woke up and, it was a Father's Day, and next thing you know, there's a gun in the room in front of my 2 kids. And that's when I really realized that my marriage was over. I knew it was over when we were just married for 2 months and, the lust went away. And I tried to make, as the song says, love out of nothing at all. And I could say I wasted 20 years of my life doing that. However, I wouldn't have my 2 wonderful children if I hadn't have gone through that experience. You can't go back and take back or redo. It's, be kind and rewind. No, it's not that. You just have to learn from those mistakes. You cannot forget. You can forgive, excuse me. Because like all lessons, if you forget the lesson, you're going to keep doing it wrong, or you're going to keep burning your hand on the stove. So, here I am now at the age of 56 years old. I said to someone, I'm learning to smile again. And I was immediately corrected. And I was told, or are you really just learning to smile? And took 3 days of crying to get over that one, because I realized that paper plate smile was out again. So, again, I can't fault myself for the decisions I made at the time. I didn't know any better. And that's part of personal growth, is to learn and grow better.
Joe, it looks like you have something skimming across the surface of the mind.
Well, just thinking about what Mary-Frances said here, and I mean, from the beginning, spot on. We hate, but that's like our youth and our teenage years. I hate this, I hate that, and it's like you said. Do you really hate that, or is it the effects it gives you, or is it the stereotype wrapped around it? And all that hate, it does turn around and create that. How did you say it? Paper plate smile. It's the first time hearing that. I kind of like that, but in a sense, it does. It's like we spend our youth seeing everything that we hate, that we don't really experience what that love is. And like you said, it's that blood pulsating through your veins, and it becomes lust. Well, it's like, all right, well, really, what is love then? Because I know I'm on that journey myself currently, where I'm starting to find out for myself the difference between the lust and the love, because I was blinded for so long myself, where, oh, I love her, or I love this about her, I love that. And it's like sitting back and thinking about it, it's like, did I really, or was it just lust? And, I'm going through recovering from a recent breakup, and I'm wondering, was it lust or was it love? Was this a lesson? Was this a blessing? Like, I've just got all these thoughts going through my mind, and hearing that you've got this book about to come out, was it emotionally scammed?
Right. And, you have to remember that everybody comes into your life. There's a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Obviously, the relationship that you just came out of was, a season, but there's always a lesson. And excuse me, I use the word but, and there is always a lesson. I'm not comparing, I'm stating that through that relationship, there was a lesson. And that's what we take and move on through life with now.
Yep. That's so true. I've learned much from her, and, and the relationship, I've learned much about myself as well. And I'm not upset or sad about it. It took me time to process and go through it. But a lot of, my thought process is about all of this is, how do we learn the difference of emotions? I mean, it's not like there's a book that you can just go read, and happiness, this is how you should feel. Sadness, this is how you should feel. Depression, this is how you should feel. At least I don't know if there's a book like that out there, but it's life. It's experiencing all of these things. And then, us humans being label makers, we slap that label on it. Oh, this, made me feel good. This must be happiness. Or, oh, this made me feel sad. This must be sadness. And one lesson at a time, we learn what these emotions truly are and how they feel within us.
Yes, definitely. And, when you realize when I was writing the chapter on anger and hate, I actually had to look it up in the dictionary. We all have our personal definition of hate, which is wrong in most parts. And then, we have yes, I was angry that, a gun was brought into the room, especially in front of my children. I hate that the event happened. It has caused emotional turmoil in my daughter, who is now in her 30s and being diagnosed with far greater problems than just depression, anxiety, and such. I've finally gotten through the PTSD on it. And this brings me into another chapter in my book, which at first you're going to say, how is this emotions? But you'll see how it plays out. I have carried my story since 2010. I've lived my story of the incident that happened. My daughter lived through hers. My son, his. I was recently packing to go on a trip and ran across, of all the silly things, the envelope that contained the restraining order and the police report about the events that happened on that Father's Day. And I was reminded what the story was. And when I analyzed my story and took my feelings and my emotions out of it, I remembered the story. I carried around what happened to me when I tried to leave the room and I was pulled back into his apartment and there was a gun at my face when I turned around. What I didn't know what I didn't remember that happened behind my back is he took that gun to his head and my children saw that. I didn't. I was trying to run. So removing my emotions from the story makes it the story. And, when a police officer drives up on an event, we'll say a car accident, he'll interview the people in the car and then he will look for the bystanders. And what the police officers do is they compile all of the same statements. And that's how they get the story. And they have to filter out everybody's emotions. And, when you realize it, you go, gee, wow, my story, once I disconnect myself from it, no longer has that control over me. And that's a hard lesson to learn. It really is. And again, I don't hate him for what he did. I hate what happened, yes. And, here we are today.
So powerful. That baggage that we carry, it's like scar tissue, essentially. It's our emotional scar tissue. It's like, and the only way to release that scar tissue is exactly what you're doing, though, and that is checking it from different emotionals, checking it from different perspectives, helping others grow through their tragedy, their pain, their trauma that they're going through currently.
Right.
Because anyone who picks up your book is picking it up because they're suffering from something or another that has to do with emotions. That's beautiful. What a way to spread that positive wave around the world, Mary-Frances. I'm so proud of you and happy to know you.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been 6 months right now of self-healing through my transformational coach training, which has been a godsend for me to become a coach. I've healed so much through the journey. And I'm so prepared to help others through this. So my next book that's going to come out after Emotionally Scammed is going to be the healing process of, how I went through each phase and so on how I went through healing. And then the third book, because of the phrase earlier, I'm learning how to smile again, is going to be how you can live on from everything that's gone on and take the experiences from the past. So basically, I've skipped a book, but that's okay. Excuse me. And that's okay. We overuse the but word just about as much as we do the hate word, probably more.
Both versions. But and but. Yeah, that's so what's the name of the third book?
Learning to Smile Again. And then the word again is going to be X'd out.
Nice. Very nice.
Because I realized I never knew how to smile. I thought, so at the age of 53, I decided I was going to get braces again because I didn't like the way my smile looked. And I thought afterwards that because my teeth had changed, I was having my picture taken with someone, and I said, I'm still learning how to, find my smile, since I've had my braces, because everything's different. And that's when he looked at me and he said, you're just learning to smile, not learning to smile again. I was like, dude, like I say, 3 days of crying later. Yes. Yes.
Mic drop.
Yes.
That was good. That's good. I love how the universe gives us those little touches like that, though, and it just springs this idea to us, and we're like, yes, let's follow that.
Yes. And ironically, the book Emotionally Scammed, the title also was originated with the same person about the smile. So yes, the universe put us together for the reasons that they did. And I can honestly say that when I was advised or it was mentioned that I read the book 3 Feet from Gold. It's by Greg Reed. It's through the Napoleon Hill Foundation. The main character in there is John Buckland. And I was told you should read it because, the character's last name is the same as yours. What little did Greg Reed know was that my great-grandfather was John Buckland. So, the book kind of resonated to me a lot because of that. And the stories in it, I read this book in 7 hours. I've never read a book from beginning to end in one day, other than a kid's book. It's just been life-changing. And then what really started to make me realize about Emotionally Scammed, was the book Outwitting the Devil. Again, by Napoleon Hill.
Great reads, both of them. And I remember reading the 3 Feet from Gold and the Think and Grow Rich book, but I know they also have the actual full version of that as well that I have not touched yet myself.
You've not read 3 Feet from Gold? I mean,
I read Think and Grow Rich, not 3 Feet.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I've read Think and Grow Rich. I think I'm on my 6th time reading it.
Yeah, I've listened to it so many times and read it at least that many times. So I'm with you there, Mary-Frances.
Yeah, it's kind of like you read it and then you just start again when you're done. And that and U Squared. I don't have it with me right here, but that is an amazing read. It's a real small read, and again, you just go to the end and start from the beginning again.
Love that. So for our people watching this, we will be posting a link to Mary-Frances and eventually to her book. Once she has it released, I will link that as well in the description. So look out for that, guys. Keep coming back. Keep getting refreshed. Thank you, Mary-Frances, for being here today. You are amazing and such a loving soul.
Thank you. Both of you are as well.
Would you like any last words before we get going here?
I want to thank both of you for honestly being a great support system and just being you. It's been a joy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary-Frances. I hope you have a wonderful day and week. And I look forward to seeing you release your new work of art, your book, Emotionally Scammed, and helping out thousands of people with that, if not millions, depending on who needs it. But the possibilities are endless.
And the possibilities are endless. Yes, sir.
And the possibilities are endless. Thank you.
Peace, loving light, and many blessings.